5 News at 5.
The story everyone's talking about from Hollywood. 2 years of marriage and 12 years together, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are calling it quits. Jolie filed for divorce from Pitt. The pair has 6 children together, and lawyers say that Angelina is asking for full custody. She does want her husband to have visitation rights, and she is not asking for spousal support. Jolie's manager released this statement, which reads in part, "Angelina will always do what's in the best interest of taking care of her family." And to People Magazine, Brad Pitt said, "I am very saddened by this, but what matters most now is the well-being of our children." Both, by the way, have asked for privacy during this time. All right, so talking to us and trying to figure out some more about the assets side of this is Laurie Itkin, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst. All right, Laurie, this seems to be a little bit of they have so much at stake right now. They own a home in LA. They have a winery in the south of France, worth $60 million, by the way. They have a home in the French Quarter in New Orleans. I mean, how do you even begin to sort of go through all of this?
Well, hi, Jen. Thanks for having me tonight. Look, this is probably going to be one of the most famous celebrity divorces, but I don't think it's going to be one of the most expensive ones. You've talked about all the homes and the luxurious life they live. They have a lot of assets, but this isn't like something like, remember when Mel Gibson got divorced? They said it cost him $500 million, $500 million, because he was married to his wife for over 20 years. And as a couple, they probably had assets of $1 billion. So it's not like it really cost him that much money. They built a community together. And under California law, you generally split assets, community assets, 50-50.
So do you think this is going to be that case? Does any element of how long you were married play into this? They were together 12 years, but they were only married for 2.
That's right. And so we have to look at this realistically. Both individuals had been divorced prior. They certainly have enough money to afford very good attorneys. And I have to think, if I had to bet, I bet they had a prenup before they got married. You said they would live together so long. And in terms of, you mentioned spousal support, it's not like Angelina Jolie can't really support herself, right? So, you know, they're probably going to look at how do they divide their assets fairly if they're not already separate property and labeled as such.
Right, so you bring up a great point. I think everyone is with you, Laurie, when you think that they probably had a prenup, considering both have sort of been through this before. What's the likelihood that that becomes public and we kind of see the inside workings of how this is going to play out?
You know, if they don't go to court, they can keep most or all of this private. If they go to court, that's a different story, and I think they're both motivated not to go to court. The one thing that will be interesting is they have 6 children, and under, you know, the way there are formulas in California in terms of calculating child support, but what's so complicated is you have to really determine what the income is that's available for support. And we know that Brad Pitt gets paid millions of dollars for movies, but often he'll take less of a salary, quote unquote, in exchange for a percentage of the proceeds of the film. So in terms of calculating what income is available for child support to support 6 children, that's probably going to be the challenging issue.
Yeah, we did some research crunching numbers. Their net worth combined about $400 million. Brad making more than Angelina Jolie. Well, Laurie Itkin certainly talking about the story a lot of people in Hollywood and around the country are talking about. We'll see how it plays out. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.